Part 3. Reflections and Legacy of the Crusades. Page 7. The Crusades' Impact on East-West Relations. The legacy of the Crusades in shaping East-West relations cannot be overstated. For centuries, these campaigns influenced the perceptions and interactions between the Christian and Muslim worlds. The Crusades entrenched stereotypes and animosities that in some cases persist to this day. The Muslim world's response to the Crusades varied over time, from initial reactions of surprise and unity to later interpretations that framed the Crusades as part of a long history of Western aggression. In the Christian West, the Crusades were romanticized in literature and legend, often glossing over the complexities and brutalities of these campaigns. The Crusades also had significant diplomatic and trade implications, leading to increased contact and, at times, cooperation between Muslim and Christian states. The establishment of trade routes and the exchange of goods and culture between the Near East and Europe were notable byproducts of the Crusader presence in the Holy Land. Page 8. Socio-political and religious repercussions in Europe. The Crusades had profound socio-political and religious repercussions within Europe itself. They contributed to the centralization of political authority as monarchs and the Church sought to mobilize resources for the campaigns. This period saw the rise of stronger monarchies and the decline of feudal structures, as the need for organized, large-scale military expeditions favored centralized control. Religiously, the Crusades reinforced the power and influence of the papacy, which positioned itself as the leader of Christendom's united efforts against the perceived infidels. However, the failures of later Crusades and the schisms within Christianity, particularly the Avignon papacy and the Great Schism, began to erode the moral and spiritual authority of the Church. The internal Crusades, such as those against the Cathars and the Hussites, reflected the broader application of crusading ideals against perceived threats within Christendom, indicating the adaptability and also the potential for abuse of the concept of holy war. Page 9. Cultural, intellectual, and spiritual legacy. The Crusades had a lasting impact on the cultural, intellectual, and spiritual landscape of Europe. The encounters with the Islamic world led to the transmission of scientific, philosophical, and mathematical knowledge to Europe, contributing to the intellectual ferment of the Renaissance. The Crusades also influenced European art, architecture, and literature, introducing Eastern motifs and themes into Western culture. Spiritually, the Crusades reflected and reinforced a more militant form of Christianity, but they also prompted introspection and critique within the Church and among the faithful. The failures and excesses of the Crusades led to questioning of the Church's priorities and methods, contributing to the broader currents of religious reform and dissent that would eventually lead to significant transformations within Christianity. Page 10. Recap and call to action. The Crusades were a multifaceted phenomenon that shaped the course of history in ways that are still being understood and interpreted. They were driven by a combination of religious fervor, political ambition, and economic interests, and their outcomes were equally complex, encompassing both achievements and atrocities. As we reflect on the legacy of the Crusades, it is crucial to engage with this history in a nuanced and critical manner, recognizing the diverse perspectives and experiences of those involved. The Crusades offer lessons on the power of religious and ideological convictions to motivate and mobilize, but they also caution against the dangers of intolerance and dehumanization of the other. In our contemporary world, where conflicts often still have religious or ideological underpinnings, the history of the Crusades can serve as a call to action for greater understanding, dialogue, and reconciliation among different cultures and faiths. By learning from the past, we can strive to build a future that values diversity, respects differences, and seeks common ground in our shared humanity.